Hello, good afternoon everyone. So today in this class, we'll be learning about circulatory system. So this is the topic for today. So first I'll write the topic. Circulatory system. In biology, when we learn, it's very important to break the terms and learn. Firstly, what is meant by circulatory or circulation? Circulation literally is something to move around. So what is moving around? In this system, blood is moving around or throughout our body. So today we'll be learning why or what's the importance of blood like being moved around our body and what it does and what all organs facilitate or help in the movement. So in this chapter, in this topic, we'll focus on all these points. So firstly, to talk about, have you ever seen blood? Have you seen your own blood in your life? And its color, its composition, do you know what the blood is made out of? So firstly, blood is made out of different cells. Blood is red in color because it has a cell known as red blood cells, or we also call it as erythrocyte. Erythro means red, so it has a pigment called hemoglobin that gives the color. Other composition of blood is white blood cell, also known as WBCs. WBC, another name for this cell is leukocytes. Leuko means white, so it is white in color. For that reason, it's also known as white blood cells. Then, the function of this white blood cell is to act as the defense mechanism because it produces antibodies that fight against any foreign materials that is coming inside our body. And finally, we have third type of cell known as platelets. These platelets, their main function is to prevent or to allow the clotting of blood in our body when there is any rupture or wound in our body. So today we will be learning the blood and how blood is being circulated in our body. There are many functions of blood. One function could be the transportation of food material. As we all know, our cells, they require energy like glucose, and this glucose we obtain by eating food. The digested food goes to nutrients, it goes to blood, and blood helps in circulation throughout our body. And the next function could be exchange of gases. Gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen. So can you breathe out and in? The function is, when you breathe out, you give carbon dioxide from your body, and when you take in, you take oxygen. This oxygen is required for the process of respiration, which converts the food that you eat into a direct or readily available energy. And when you breathe out, you give the carbon dioxide that is unwanted. When there is accumulation of carbon dioxide in our body, we suffer, like even the accumulation of carbon monoxide can cause the death. So for that reason, we also need to give out. So these are some of the functions, and like we have the third function, that is to transport hormones and antibodies. Hormones and antibodies, these are the protein products, and these are required. Firstly, hormone we need to, like it's needed for proper functioning of body, starting from growth, digestion. For all this reason, we need hormones. Hormones control the whole physiological process of our body, and antibodies, they are required to fight against any kind of disease. So blood is being transported. So now we'll go to how or what takes blood to different parts of the body. What is responsible for the transportation of blood? So we'll be talking about heart, the organ heart. So this is the rough diagram of human heart. Heart externally is covered by a membrane or covering known as pericardium. This membrane, it helps to protect heart. And when you talk about internal structure of heart is divided into 4 chambers or 4 compartments. Firstly, right auricle, left auricle. This both. Then we have lower portion is right ventricle and left ventricle. So before we begin the process, the mechanism how blood is pumped, you need to know the composition of right and left part of the heart. Firstly, what you need to keep in mind is all the right portion of the heart, it has deoxygenated blood. Means a blood that doesn't have oxygen, that lacks oxygen and only has carbon dioxide. And left side of the heart, it always carry oxygenated blood. So that's the main difference between left side and right side of the heart. And heart, they are connected with different blood vessels. Firstly, the blood vessel that comes to right auricle is known as superior vena cava, and this brings blood from upper half of the body. We have inferior vena cava joining here, and it brings blood from lower portion of the body, but the blood is in both the vessels is deoxygenated. And let's go to the left side of the heart. In the first compartment we have left atrium or auricle. In this, there is a blood vessel known as aorta, which takes oxygenated blood to different parts of the body. Again, we have the blood vessel known as pulmonary veins. This pulmonary veins, this brings blood, oxygenated blood from the lungs. And now, these all 4 chambers are guarded by the structure known as valves. Can you see here? There are the valves. This first valve we have tricuspid valves. Tri means 3, cuspid means cup shaped. So there are 3 valves which looks like cup. And another reason, the reason between left auricle and left ventricle is guarded by bicuspid valve, means a valve that looks like 2 cups together. And aorta is guarded by semilunar aortic valve, and pulmonary artery is guarded by semilunar pulmonary valve. So these are some of the valves that regulates the flow of blood in our body. Now let's go to the heartbeat, or how the pumping of blood occurs in our body. Firstly, what happens at the initial stage, both the valves they remain closed, and both the portion of heart will be in a relaxed state. We even call it diastole. So what happens now? The blood from upper half and lower half of the body, the deoxygenated blood, it comes to right auricle. At the same time, even the left auricle will be receiving oxygenated blood from the lungs. Now, once the blood is received, both valves open at the same time. Both upper portion of the heart contracts. When they contract, blood is pumped to the ventricles. And once blood comes to the ventricle, this portion starts to relax. We call it systole. It starts to relax, and these valves, they closes now. They are closed. Once they are closed, now it's time for lower ventricle or the ventricle region to contract. Once they contract, what happens? Blood present, the deoxygenated blood present in right ventricle goes to pulmonary artery to lungs for purification, because lung is the main organ that purifies our blood, or the blood carbon dioxide present in blood is being purified in lungs. Now from here, blood goes through pulmonary artery to lungs, and the blood present in left ventricle, it goes to different parts of the body through the vessel known as aorta. This aorta, this takes blood to the upper half as well as lower half of the body. So this blood being oxygenated, what means has oxygen. For that reason, it carries food materials, hormones, oxygen, and all the products like antibodies for defense mechanism. These products are present in the blood, present in right, not right, it's left ventricle. So this is the main function of our heart, or how the pumping of blood occurs. Now let's talk about what provides heart muscles with the blood, because since they are walking, they also need to get food, they also have to get oxygen for respiration. So the blood vessel is known as coronary artery. Coronary artery, they are present at the exterior, the outside part of the heart, and what they do, they provide heart with all required materials. Coronary artery, they provide oxygen and food materials for heart so that heart can work continuously without any rest. Because as we all know, heart muscles are made out of involuntary muscle, means the muscle that is not under our control. We cannot control their function. For that reason, they need continuous supply of oxygen and food. So coronary artery provides. Now, again, the deoxygenated blood produced by the cells of heart is collected back to right atrium by the vessels known as coronary veins. So now we got to know the function, the structure of heart. So now let's summarize the topic by saying what could be the function. By now you all could have got what's the importance of having circulatory system in our body. Now let's summarize what could be the reason of having heart, or the heart that pumps up blood. So what's the importance of having heart in our body? Now the main important is, firstly, heart, as we all said earlier in the earlier topics, we see it pumps up blood, and when it pumps blood carries oxygenated blood carries oxygen, food materials, and hormones. These are taken to the different body parts, and each and every cells will be able to have access to the required materials for their functioning. Next thing is, when blood flows from different parts of the body, it helps in filtration of waste products such as urea, uric acid present in our blood, because deoxygenated blood carries all these waste products. Once these waste products are taken to the kidney, where the filtration occurs, and the gas present, the different gases such as carbon dioxide are filtered in lungs. So that's how the pumping of blood starts, from pumping of the blood, and purification of the blood occurs at the same time. So this is the main function of our heart. Thank you.